If you feel like you know what you should be doing, but you're just not doing it, your natal chart may actually have the answer to that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, some of y'all are just lazy. But have you ever noticed how some people are movers and shakers? Like sometimes they can't sit still, like they have ants in their pants. While other people are a little slower, maybe a little more intentional, maybe a little less reckless, right? Your natal chart has the answer to all of that. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 placements that are perhaps a little slower to move. But more importantly, it's not just that they're slow, it's why they are slower. So, if you want to know more, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new around here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So, if you're new, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So, today's video is about 5 placements in your natal chart that struggle to take action. Now, at the time that I'm recording this, we are right in the middle of Aries season. The first sign of the zodiac. Aries is fiery, it's bold, slightly reckless. And Mars is actually about to enter Aries, which is the ruling planet of Aries. So, this energy of being bold, dynamic, and movement is going to be a thing right now. Not to mention the fact that we're in a fire horse year. Everything is about movement and action and all the things, right? But maybe you're feeling like, I just can't, or it's hard to, or I'm not inclined to, or I don't know how. That's not you not catching the wave that everyone else is on. It speaks to how you are designed. And perhaps you're someone who's just not a mover like that. Or when it comes to action, you take a little longer. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with how we are designed. But when everyone else is off to the races and you're just like standing there, like, I don't know, or I'm scared, or whatever, you kind of want to know why. So this video is to help you understand. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, before we get into the placements, I want to clarify what I actually mean by placements. So when I talk about these 5 placements, I'm talking about different planets. So you may have a planet in one sign or a planet in the other. And the specific planets that I'm referencing right now are definitely Mars, and to a lesser extent, either your sun, your moon, or your rising sign. So any of those 4 planets in these 5 placements that I'm going to mention can speak to you struggling to take action, or you are someone who's not very action oriented. All right. Cool. So let us get into it for real this time. So the first placement that could struggle to take action are Libra placements. And this would definitely speak to Mars in Libra and to a lesser extent, Sun, Moon, or Rising in Libra. Now, Libra is the opposite sign to Aries. If Aries is the sign of action, then Libra is naturally the opposite of that. Now, Libra isn't about inaction, Libra is more about indecision. Aries is headstrong. Aries is like, I know what I want. It's this. They're laser like focused on it. Libra, to a certain extent, can be indecisive. Now, that's a generalization. It's not to say that every Libra placement is indecisive, but Libra takes other things and sometimes other people into account before taking action. Libra is the sign of relationships. And so Libra is very much always cognizant of the other. It could be your partner, it could be your friend, your parent, your coworker. That presence is ever present in your life and you're very cognizant of it. So oftentimes when you may want to do something that you want to do, you're like, oh, but what is my boyfriend going to think about this? Or what is my dad going to think about this? Or my coworker may have something to say if I do this. So that can lead to inaction. You may feel this desire, but acting on it typically involves the input or the consideration of someone else. Now, again, it doesn't mean that you're never going to take action. It just may mean that you may struggle to because you always got to think about somebody else. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And as a side note, if you have any of these placements that I am mentioning in this video and you want to know more about it, then you will definitely be interested in my newest digital product with which is astrology translated. So, this is a quick and easy way to start and understand how to read any placement in your natal chart. So, maybe you've got Mars in Libra, or maybe you've got Moon in Cancer, right? If you want to know exactly what that means using a very simple to follow framework, then this is definitely for you. It is a 25-minute video training plus an accompanying PDF guide. And by the time you're done, you will know how to read any placement in your natal chart. And it's cheap, if I'm being honest. All right. So if you want to know how to start reading your natal chart and you want an introduction to how I read natal charts, right? This is the product for you. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below, as well as tagged to this video. Now, on to the next placement. Next would be Pisces placements. So again, this may mean you have Mars in Pisces. You could be a Pisces sun or moon, or maybe even a Pisces rising. Emotions tend to get in the way with Pisces, often feeling emotionally overwhelmed. And when you feel emotionally overwhelmed, you kind of like Pisces and the fish, you kind of swim away. Avoidance can be a thing with Pisces placements. So when it comes to taking action, if the action makes you feel overwhelmed or makes you feel some kind of emotion in a big sort of way, you might avoid it. So rather than lean into it, you kind of lean away. So it's not to say that you'll never take action. It's that you kind of have to have your emotions in check before you do. So divest yourself of any emotions that are not yours. It may require a little bit of bravery and courage, which is very much emblematic of action taking, right? Sometimes you got to feel the fear and do it anyway. And maybe sometimes put your emotions to the extent that you can. Put your emotions to the side. If you've got a task at hand that you need to accomplish or something that you really want, you may need to parcel out those emotions and put them to the side so that you can take action. But long story short, when it comes to these Pisces placements, avoidance and emotions can often get in the way. And that's why you struggle to take action at times. Now, keep in mind that this list is not exhaustive. These are just the things that came to my mind and that were sort of at the top of my list when I was thinking about this. All right. So if you have another placement, you're like, that sounds like me. This isn't, this list isn't exhaustive by any means necessary. All right. So, number three, the third placement that may struggle to take action can be Virgo, surprisingly. And I thought about this because I thought about myself and sort of what prevents me from taking action at times. And when it comes to Virgo, it is analysis paralysis, particularly if you've got Mars in Virgo. Okay. So again, Mars, Sun, Moon, or Rising in Virgo. Okay. So you're waiting for the perfect time to act. All conditions have to be right before you take one step, or you overthink the shit to death. Your mind is, firing on all cylinders. Okay, I want this, but what if this happens? But what if that? And what if I do this? And that meme with Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he's like trying to explain something. I'm gonna put it right here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that can be Virgo placements when it comes to action. It's like the strategy is the action, but actually taking the action, you're like, nah, I'm not ready yet. Nah, it's not perfect. So for you, you may have to quiet all of that mental chatter, and you may definitely have to say, listen, I'm just not going to overthink this step. I'm just going to leap. When it comes to analysis paralysis, you got to put all of that to the side and you've got to leap before you look. Now, that's definitely less than perfect, and that's definitely not how Virgos are designed. But if you want to take action, that is the obstacle that you're going to have to overcome to do so. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind. But don't overthink things to death. Nothing is perfect. I think the best piece of advice I've not only gotten, but have learned over the years as a Virgo sun: imperfection is perfection. So sometimes you got to do things when the conditions aren't exactly right. Okay. Number four. So the fourth placement that may struggle with taking action are Cancer placements, specifically Mars in Cancer. Now, Cancer and Pisces are both water signs. Whereas Pisces gets emotionally overwhelmed, Cancer can be a little moody. The ruling planet of Cancer is the moon. And the moon, it controls the tides of the ocean. So there's high tide and there's low tide. So one day you're feeling motivated, the next day you're like, I don't feel like it. Or you need the conditions to feel good, or you need to feel emotionally safe before acting. And that's a really good thing because you don't want to leap into something that's unsafe, or you don't want to be vulnerable only to be left defenseless in pursuing this thing, right? So emotional conditions need to be right for Cancer to take action. But more importantly, Cancer needs to fucking feel like it. You need to feel motivated. You need to feel good. You need to feel something, perhaps, in order to take action. And if you don't, or you don't feel safe, or you don't feel like it, then it probably won't happen. And so this can actually be a good thing because now with this fire horse energy, with us being in Aries season and Mars entering Aries, it's like everyone is running and you're like, but I'm tired. I don't feel like it. Or why is everyone running? Or maybe everyone is running to something that's dangerous and that's just not me. That is perfectly fine. But understanding that perhaps there may be something that you want, there may be something that you desire, but maybe you just don't feel like it. And that's perhaps why you don't take action. And again, there's nothing wrong with how you're designed, but recognizing how you're designed is important because the one thing about Cancer, I should say this about Pisces also, and to a certain extent, Virgo, y'all are intuitive. So maybe you see everyone running and you know they're running to some bullshit. Or maybe it's not the right time and you're not feeling it because your intuition is telling you it's not the right time. But either way, those conditions or those characteristics may prevent you from acting, maybe even when you want to. So definitely keep that in mind. And then number five, when it comes to placements that struggle to take action, this would be anyone that has a lot of heavy Saturn influence. So maybe you are a Capricorn rising, Aquarius rising, or maybe you've got Saturn in aspect to Mars anywhere in your chart. Now, if this is going over your head, don't worry about it. I'll put some resources in the description box below so you can understand what aspects are, right? Or maybe you've got Saturn in the first house. Anything that would make Saturn very prominent in your chart could also contribute to struggling to take action. Because here's the thing, when it comes to taking action, it can be impulsive and it can be reckless. And those are the opposite of everything that Saturn stands for. Saturn is about time. Saturn is about delays. Saturn is like, I see that everyone's running, but I know it's not the right time for me. Or my shoes are untied. Or I need to get some shoes, so I can't even run right now. Or I'm sad. I'm depressed. I know I'm just not motivated, right? Saturn can also bring those kind of feelings into things so that you struggle to take action. But Saturn will literally throw a monkey wrench in your plans or make things difficult or require a long time to achieve something. So maybe you are taking action, but you're not getting immediate results. Maybe you see everyone else, you see this a lot in entrepreneurship, right? You see people who are doing something and they're making money, or at least they're saying that they're making money, right? You do it and your bank account is dry for a while. Maybe it takes you a little longer. So with Saturn heavy placements or a Saturn heavy chart, it may not be that you don't take action, it's that when you do, things take a long time. And knowing that may be a deterrent to taking action, right? Maybe you know that this happens in your life a lot. So you're just like, why would I do this? Why would I even try if I know it's not going to work out or it's going to take a long time? I like to say that Saturn is sobering a lot of times. And sometimes when it comes to taking action, especially impulsively, we tend to have rose-colored glasses on, or we're just so driven and focused that we're not thinking about anything else. Saturn may have you overthinking, and Saturn sometimes is like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, right? Like down in the dumps, depressed, seeing the ugly side of life, pessimistic, and that can make you struggle to take action. Now, knowing that, you kind of just have to feel whatever you're feeling and do it anyway, depending on what the action is. Sometimes you have to prep yourself and give yourself a pep talk because you know it may take a long time. Or you may be met with resistance, right? You have obstacles, delays, and challenges in whatever it is that you're trying to take action toward. Be okay with that and be willing to put in the work to overcome those things. Okay. So, in summary, when it comes to any of these placements, it's not that you never take action, it's not that you're lazy, it's that there could be impediments to action, such as too much emotion, you're not in the mood, you're overthinking, you know that it's going to take a lot of time. Understanding that is half the battle. So instead of trying to take action and start running when everyone else is running right now, when you understand yourself, you'll know how to take action, or even when to take action, or what to do to overcome obstacles to taking action. And then you can resume just like everybody else. Right. So hopefully this video was informative. This is meant to be general. This is just a general overview of this subject matter. If you want more specifics, specifically how you are designed, then you want to tap into my natal chart experience, which is the blueprint. Now, this is like 3 readings in one. It's a unique framework that I developed myself. It's chock full of information and resources, and it's kind of got ongoing support. So you're not just given your chart and this information and then left to your own devices. I literally help you understand this, and there's ongoing kind of work a little bit so that you can really solidify the information. So you not only learn how you are designed, but you understand what chapter in life you're in and what's currently going on. And with this pronged framework, it gives you a very comprehensive picture of who you are, what you're about, and what you can do right now to make changes in your life or to actually take action toward the things that you want. So, if you're interested, the first step is booking a free 15-minute clarity call where we discuss the service at length and whether it's right for you. And if you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. But if you are action oriented and you're ready to go, then the link to book the blueprint straight away is also in the description box below. Right. So hopefully this was informative. Hopefully you got some information. Hopefully maybe you kind of started to understand yourself a little bit better in terms of taking action and maybe why you don't always take action. All right. And if that is the case, if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, especially with someone who you may know who doesn't always take action. Now, let me know in the comments below. Do you have any of these placements? And how does it affect your ability to take action? All right, my loves. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.